This is cops on that, this oldest one. They were the ones that were sort of downhill. The closest lived to us.
Oh, okay.
This is Oscar's and Dad. And these kids are... Let's think. Where did you see him? I think these two. The haircut's even the same. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, they
Well,
are.
she's changed her dress. And that should be Janis and Uncle Adolf's in England.
Okay.
Ouch. I think that's Ivar's.
Mm-hmm.
This is grandmother and mother. This is a grain barn that you had to harvest when you could.
Uh-huh.
and
Did it dry?
and
Or-
you put it up on things to dry, but you had to haul it in when it wasn't. You had to finish drying in the barn, and then they bring in a threshing machine. The machine would be inside the barn. The chug that drove it was outside with a long belt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's Dad, Mother. I presume that's what's a little bit of me, the bad picture.
Uh-huh.
And that's Peter and Aunt and Adolf's and Riga. In 42.
Okay.
And mother, grandmother. Looks like I'm just counting how many kids there are.
Oh.
So, because there were only two from Bebercarkles, so. And there is, I don't see anything. I think it's a mower that's, you can't see behind there. And that's in our house. Me, Ivers. I guess it's got to be Bob's grandmother, and don't ask me who that is.
Some visitor.
Some visitor, yeah. And this is us by end of the, let's see, this house on this end. And this is the barn across from the house was here. The Liepa was in between, closer to the house. Then there were a couple other trees before you got to the bottom of this incline, how you could get to the top of the barn.
Oh. Uh-huh.
That's sort of Ivers and I, Mother and her, I think. Was this picture we went past? Yeah, I don't know why it didn't.
Yeah.
I-
Oh, that's the whole.
yeah, that's the whole picture.
Yeah.
I can't. That's Ivers. And this is the ramp. This was a walk going towards the barn.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
With the ramp
and the ramp was,
somewhere
well,
off.
see, there, you could drive in and up the ramp.
Uh-huh.
So, and there was this tree, then there was another tree, and then there was Leah. Linden. Okay, and that's somebody, that's Peter, and that is Mrs. Klaupix. What's her name?
That name sounds... Clapix?
Yeah, she was
Okay.
Mother's cousin.
Okay.
And I guess these are pictures that we have tried to copy. This is in the DP camp. School took place in this building. Then these buildings were part of the, I don't know, I guess it was BMW factory.
Uh-huh.
And the camp buildings went off that away. And these are camp pictures. And this is a small one of the big one you saw already.
Oh, yes.
Richard is there.
Yeah.
Russell is there. I think that's ours. Yeah, me. Me. And that's Ivers in Brandenburg.
Okay.
I didn't get a picture taken. They wanted to have numbers in front of us. Said with Latvians,
No numbers.
we're not numbered. Yeah. Okay, this was what's left of the place after the war. These are pictures from Elmars. So you got a sort of, if you can, okay, that looks like the Liepa and but the rest of the trees, there were apple trees, there were other trees, cherries, but those look quite tall. In comparison to a person.
Oh, yeah.
And these came from,
It's like 50 feet tall.
yeah, these came from, I don't know who's taking pictures, probably Elmar's. Yeah. I was trying to remember, there's a name written on this cross.
Uh-huh.
We go up the computer, we can look at it. And I guess it probably, see,
Yeah.
this is the castle.
That's, yeah.
Yeah. And the camp was this way from the castle. And they have rebuilt and enlarged the castle, I guess, because it's, yeah. So it don't look like that anymore.
Yeah.
So if you look at modern new picture, it's looks different. And him, you probably know who it is, and that you do.
Uh-huh.
This is at the Gray House. Remember, there was this view looking up, looking this way when we were taking pictures. And it said there was this gas plant,
Yeah.
and the Gray House was right after the gas plant.
Okay.
It was, there's, and that's Ivers and I in transfer camp, a Gloucesterhausen. No,
What?
this is at Mount Rushmore.
Ah! Oh, jeez.
This is in Nebraska,
Yeah.
at the parsonage. There we're for Jean's wedding.
So I'm going to ask a stupid question. Who is Janus?
He is my cousin. He is,
Henins?
no,
Or he's Sudmalis. I know I've heard the name before.
no, it's Gertner's.
Oh, Gertner's,
Yeah.
which is
Uh,
on the Sudmalis side.
yes.
Okay.
This lady
Okay.
is his mother. Okay.
And Vera Gertner's.
Vira.
Vira,
It
excuse
is.
me.
yeah, is Janus' daughter.
Okay, yes.
Monvids, Vira, and Edwins. They're
Okay.
the three Gertner kids. And she is Janus' mother.
Okay. So
Okay.
she's Papa's and your mother's sister. Janus is your cousin,
Yeah.
and that means that Vira is and her siblings
Second cousin.
are my second cousins.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is in Hay Springs. Me,
Where's that?
Phil, in Hay Springs, Nebraska.
Okay.
Yeah, me, Philip, Ivers, and Charles.
Okay. Were those your brothers?
Well, they two are cousins.
Uh-huh.
His parents had passed away, so the Allens were taking him in.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is in Toronto.
Hmm.
And that's me in New York.
New York?
New York, when that will make it 48.
Mm-hmm.
This is my high school picture. Graduation, I guess. And there should be Janus' wedding in Toronto.
Uh-huh. So, when were you a high school senior?
I was in 54.
54. Okay.
That's a couple years ago. We went
A wee bit of ways.
went to the 60th high school reunion with Barbara.
Oh.
And they had reunion for all the high school.
Oh, okay.
Okay. My class started out with 40,
Mm-hmm.
more or less. Yeah. Because there were people in the class that I don't know. Some that were there for the whole time, some were not, and so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Were y'all
some
the-
are still kicking.
Were you and Ivers the only ones that came from another country?
In the high school.
In the high school.
Yes. At the time we were there. There might have been some that came from Mexico.
Okay. A slightly different location.
Slightly different country. Yeah.
But Andy, I've always thought how lucky those boys were because they lived with Reverend and Mrs. Allen, who were very highly respected in the community.
Uh-huh.
And so there was no question of accepting these boys.
Oh, that's
Wouldn't
excellent.
have had to be that way. They were, I mean, and if you go back there now, there are still people who talk about the boys.
Oh,
They're well remembered. There are not many left to remember, I suppose, but they've been honorary Hay Springs citizens.
and that's
all
also,
these years.
and that's kind of also been, I wrote up a list of questions. I don't have them out now. We'll go over them. But I always kind of wondered why did you end up pursuing college and in particular a PhD? What was the driving force there?
We went to college to learn, to
Yes.
do stuff, and then once you know physics, you get.
Physics made you interested in more physics.
Well, I guess, yeah, and that was the way to go. So that was, yeah. I can't. was sort of following Ivers in the sense, and
Uh-huh.
he got into Hopkins, and I got in there due to, I guess, people knowing people, and
Mm-hmm.
Certainly you were encouraged in college
yeah,
to
Yeah.
go for the PhD.
yeah. Oh, I'm frustrated. I can't remember what the name's written on that cross. It's written on the other side. So
On the other side of the picture?
no, of the
Or
cross.
of the cross. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you want to go look it up?
Well, we'll see.
We'll do it later.
Yeah.
Okay.